Hello, hello, hello. So we are going to be taking on a much heavier topic than we usually do. A lot of times we discuss about the incoming earth energy when it comes to the celestial energy coming through, or even the Schumann. Today we're going to cover what's going on in the collective vibration of the earth, because so many in our community have had a lot of questions. I've been fielding a lot of personal text messages, a lot of personal emails, and even during my private sessions, I've been working with people about what's going on collectively right now in the unrest that we're seeing and the violence that we're seeing and why it's occurring. First, I always have a little bit of a sketchy feed where I am right now in my office. So if there is any trouble with the feed, please let me know on the chats. But I'm going to jump right into this topic, and I'm going to ask all of you out there, because I think we're kind of unified with the same ideal. How do you expect to have world peace if you don't have inner peace first? Good morning, Anil. Good morning. And good morning, Evelyn. Hello, hello. I think that is the biggest question that we have to ask ourselves, because you trying to have world peace without individual inner peace is like trying to cook dinner with no food. And so many out there right now are trying extremely hard to figure out what they can do to help or fix or create a different version of what's happening right now. But we are all missing the point. And many of us are understanding this. There's been groups and so many in the collective that have really been tapping into the understanding that your ability to create your own reality exists within your own personal field of energy. And that sounds like it's difficult. It sounds like it's something that's, very far-fetched, but it's actually scientific. So in order for something to be created outside of someone, it has to be focused on first. That's how any major invention was ever brought down into this earth. Good morning, Anna. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know if you guys have any questions too as we go through this, because a lot of these are community questions that I'm going to be going through as quickly as possible, so I don't take up too much of your time. But I want to give you guys as much insight as possible to how you can anchor in being part of a support system to create change versus the opposite. So we often get confused and we think the world outside of us is happening to us. I want you to be able to have enough knowledge and enough education within what you are to understand that you are a vibration, and that is scientific. You have a vibrational flow throughout your body that tells every area of your body to work and to exist and to function. So that same vibration travels through everything. So the way that you think, the way that you project your thoughts, the way that you are internally has a huge collective energy that goes out into what we see in the world around us and then takes form. It is not the other way around. If you think it is, then I can absolutely respect your own personal opinion. But the information following this on how you can actually be someone who's going to change the way the things are functioning on Earth is probably not going to match with where your current vibration and state of mind is. Those of you who understand that aspect, you have to understand that if we want to see peace, if we want to see this utopian world where things function well, you have to have that within you, which means you have to not judge other people for the things that they do. You have to stop judging yourself for the way that you are. You have to start negative thoughts that you put in your head. You have to stop doing those things. You have to stop picking on yourself because you're aging, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not good enough, or you don't make enough money. You have to stop the personal attack before you see a collective attack change in any way. So in a society of what we've been dealing with for the past 2 years, many of us have become awoke and awakened to what we truly are, because we have seen the voices of authority be dramatically wrong and overstep their ability to provide us with information. That's also gone on within us personally. So the things that we used to listen to about our own personal voice, we are starting to question. Like when we look in the mirror and we say something that's unkind to ourselves, we're starting to gain enough knowledge to know, wow, that did not make me feel good. Why would I do that to myself? So of course, we're then going to question what we're hearing from larger institutions outside of ourselves and say, you know what, that doesn't seem right. Why would you tell everybody that this is a better way to live in fear and in judgment? And we're questioning that. So those aspects have to fall apart. But first, they fall apart within us. So, in one of the questions that I have received very often throughout the past couple days, one has been, how can we help? Simple. Watch your thoughts. What are you feeding? Are you watching the narrative right now and saying this person shouldn't exist anymore, or these people are just terrible people, or how could this happen? All of those thoughts are based in judgment, they're based in hatred, and they're based in fear. So you are basically feeding in your outside collective the exact thing that you're trying to pretend that you're fixing. And that is not how you do it. That is being ignorant. You have to refocus that. And you have to focus your energy on more positive aspects of who you want to be, of what you want to see. You have to also see that as you notice those parts of yourself that you don't want or you feel are not going to be a positive part of your moving forward in the future, you can attack those thoughts. You have to do things to redirect them, which is why this channel exists and this community exists. You redirect energy by working with energy. It is not just this new age way of understanding. You take the meridian and the flow of that frequency within your body and you turn it into something else. You transmute it, which is why we do mudras, which is why we do breathing, which is why we do yoga, which is why we do going outside for nature walks. We do things to redirect those frequencies. That is how you show a frequency within you, love. But you also give yourself the opportunity to accept a higher frequency. So I urge you, as you guys are watching any of these things take place, that you go internal and say, if this exists outside of me, where is it inside of me? Okay, I notice I'm judgmental about these things. And you work on those aspects of yourself. A great mudra right now is one we just talked about in the Astrolo class. It was a really powerful mudra that came through during a meditation. It has to do with the feminine energy or the Pisces that's coming in, and then working with the masculine energy, which is that center point of your palm, and bringing those two together. I just recorded the new moon meditation, which will be available publicly on this channel, and it does also incorporate this mudra. But this, when you're feeling those moments of panic, that is a great way to redirect that energy, redirect that flow. You are not a physical body. You are choosing to have your energy inside of a physical body. So start working with those frequencies, start working with that flow, and you'll start to see the changes shift outside of you as well. Okay, a couple other questions. What did we do to allow this to take place? So what are we currently doing to contribute to this? This is not a negative, it's a negative situation in the thoughts of a human way of thinking. But in an actual perspective of a vibrational perspective, in order for something to change, it has to dissolve. So we are watching this very intense masculine energy that is destructive come to the surface. So how could we feed that energy to get worse? Focus on it and send negative masculine things towards it, like hatred and anger and fear and all of those things that are very heavily in the masculine energy. How do we help it move forward? Don't focus on the physical situation. Focus on the vibration of the situation. Focus on when you send out energy of hate and fear to transmute that in any way, even going outside for a nature walk and then taking a moment to recenter and Think of all the things around you that are beautiful, that are flourishing. Redirect your energy to love, and you're actually taking back the power, taking back the fuel from that vibration and centering it into a direction that you are going to be much more excited to watch take place. Okay. Yes, I do think EFT is wonderful for help redirecting thought patterns. Absolutely. Tapping, for those of you who don't know what EFT is, it's using certain meridian points or connection points within the body to release certain frequencies. That is super helpful right now, Evelyn. And there are a lot of videos online that help you through releasing some of those things. Anything that's going to break up those thought processes, because they're going to be coming alive within you. As you're seeing that heavy negative masculine come alive outside of you, you're going to be feeling it within you, which is what we also talked about in yesterday's Astrolo class, and people having a lot of anger come up right now. So your job is to not feed the anger, but more importantly, your job is to understand your role in all that is taking place. And I'm going to leave you guys with, you cannot achieve peace in the collective if you do not achieve peace within yourself. The two have to go in unison. There is no way around it. It is how it will always be, and it always has been. It is like trying to cook dinner without food. It can't happen. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me, Anna, Anil, I love Evelyn. I love you guys to pieces. I hope you're all hanging in there. I know you guys are all leaders. That's what this community is about. We are really trailblazers in a lot of this stuff. So I know you guys are leaders and you're helping a lot of other people in your community, and you are holding this energy in. I want you to know you're not alone, and we are so together on this. I love you guys so much. Evelyn, if you could, I'm going to pop my email in this chat. If you could pop me out your email, I would really like to send you the copy of yesterday's Astrolo class, just so you can kind of, get your feet wet and take a peek at that and take from it what can help you and what doesn't vibe and what does vibe. But I'd like to do that for you if you would like. Other than that, guys, I love you to pieces. If you have any questions, pop them in the notes. Sending huge hugs. We've got this. Take a deep breath. It's going to be a bumpy ride up until the next new moon hits. So we can do it. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for joining me.